I created her on mixed media paper and used a variety of metallic watercolours, torn prints of my old art, oil pastels, gel medium, paint, glitter. She put up quite a struggle as she was emerging. I noticed her mini forest up on her forehead. I just couldn't hide this under paint. It just had to be revealed, and so I accepted that. It spoke to me of a tangle in her mind, a struggle between yes and no. It didn't make much sense initially, but I trusted and continued. She seemed quite young, around 10. The only thing I seemed to love about her was her nose and her eyebrows. When her eyes appeared, I found them really challenging. I wanted to soften them, but they just refused. Everything I seemed to want for her, she didn't want. What was it about this young girl? She had a tiny mouth that seemed pursed somehow. I found it interesting that I had so many wants for her, and she did not want any of them. We certainly tussled for a while, she and I. In fact, I'm sad to admit that I pushed her aside for a couple of days. I felt like I didn't want her. I didn't want to be with her. She was hard work. When I went back to her, I felt less irritated, but it didn't take long until I began to feel that same wanting, something different for her. I seemed to forget all of my tools that I offer others when they are creating. I felt bossy and in charge of her, and was determined that she would be pretty and feminine, so unlike me. Finally, however, when I went back to her after another 2 days of ignoring her, I managed to put aside all that I wanted for her and helped me to see her for the first time. She looked feisty and willful, determined. She had a lot of no in her. Strong, bright, energetic. Her eyes actually looked sad when I gave her a voice, and she explained how everyone always wanted their best for her, but nobody had ever asked her what she wanted. All they ever heard from her was no, including me. But given our determination to change her, well, no wonder she said no so much. So possibly for the first time ever, I gave her a voice and asked her, "What do you want?" Her answer? To travel north. Well, it's pretty chilly up north, especially where she wants to go to see the northern lights. So I made her a cosy snood in blues, teals, pinks, with gold sparkles. As soon as I managed to accept her as she was, I felt so differently towards her, full of love and hope that she can fulfill her dreams. I had no idea she was such an adventurer, but at last she has been seen and heard, and that feels so vital. If we take time to dig down a little into our paintings, we tend to discover ourselves, our relationships, our history, all there is to explore with curiosity and excitement. We can become really passionate about how we can find our truest selves in our art. I love this about the whole process. Each of my paintings has a wonderful, meaningful story about myself attached to it, and sometimes I even share my stories with others, just like I have with my 10-year-old self.